We want to take a look at some of the lasting images of 2021. The United States withdrawal from Afghanistan was as chaotic as it was sudden. As international forces departed, thousands of locals tried to leave too. Hundreds got onto the runway at Kabul airport, desperate to get out. Such was their desperation that as one U.S. military plane taxied down the runway, some clung to the body of the aircraft. Many fell to their deaths after the plane took off. The U.S. did take some who could show they had the right to leave. Others gambled on the humanity of the soldiers at the airport. DW's Teri Schultz met a couple who managed to leave with some, but not all of their children.
Khalalullah Safi says he understands those shocking scenes of desperate Afghan parents passing their children to American soldiers at Kabul airport.
I cannot blame the people why they came, because everyone wanted to leave.
Marked for assassination by the Islamic State due to his work on national reconciliation, Safi was among those trying to get his family into the airport onto a plane to promised refuge in the Netherlands. Safi was in hiding in late August when he was told in the middle of the night to go to the airport. He tried to gather his family from the different locations where they'd moved for their safety. His wife missed the call. His brother brought the children who were staying with him, but it was so dangerous at the airport, Safi initially sent them back.
I saw that the people there was firing and the people injured.
After 24 hours, he managed to make it onto a Dutch flight with 4 of his children. His wife and the others would be forced to flee through Pakistan. Throughout the ordeal, 20-month-old Haya never cried, her father says, treating the trip as a great adventure, which they all must do now, starting over in the Netherlands. Tamina Satari is doing the same. A gender advisor for the Dutch embassy in Kabul, she became an asylum seeker overnight, literally, despite what her Dutch colleagues had promised.
I remember the last night we were with them, how, like a family, we were there and they were talking to us, and then we will be there with you and we will not leave you if something goes wrong.
The next day, the Taliban took control of Kabul. When Satari and other Afghan employees showed up for work, they were alone, no warning.
And they just left us, and it was a big shock.
The Dutch foreign and defense ministers would later resign in acknowledgement of how badly the evacuation effort was managed. Fortunately, orders did come through to evacuate Satari and her immediate family. It took 3 tries enduring Taliban beatings, but she says she knew, especially as a woman, that flight was her only hope for survival.
Every time that we were going back, it was so disappointing, and I was like, if I stay here, I will die. Even if I'm alive, I will not have a life.
She's not sure yet what that life will be. She and her family are living in a refugee camp awaiting permanent housing and Dutch passports. Tamina Satari and Khalalullah Safi both know, as difficult as this was, they are the lucky ones. They speak of their heartbreak at not having been able to help others escape. Safi says 2 of his former colleagues, who were not evacuated despite his pleas, have since been killed.